This is the Jack Murphy Podcast. Here's your host, Jack Murphy.
Well, welcome back, all you 300 almost beautiful people, to the Jack Murphy Podcast. I am Jack Murphy, your declining host, and of course, the famous actor Alfred Trevette. I'm shocked I could remember his name.
Well, I understand you had a rough problem yesterday with your phone.
I got to
Man,
tell
I'm
you,
telling you.
it was so embarrassing. I mean, still is today. I went ahead. You know me. I'll say anything. I don't care. I told the story this morning on my walk in the woods. But I had a request to make a special dish yesterday. My daughter's busy. She's got 2 young kids, and she just went off maternity leave. So anyway, I'm going to the grocery store. My routine is I go and I have my list in my head and I have my phone. And as I'm get my buggy and I throw in there, I kind of keep a running total. And then right before I get to the cash register, so I'm not that guy that's holding up the checkout, I transfer the money over to my little checking account so I can pay with my debit card. I think, is that what everybody pretty much does? So
Yeah.
I get in the store, I get a couple of things in the basket, and I go, crap, I don't have my phone. I'm looking in my pocket for my phone to transfer the money. No phone. I don't live that far from the grocery store, so I go, okay. So I go back out to the parking lot, get the car, I drive home, and I walk in the house. And as I'm walking in the house, it occurred to me that the entire time since I left the house, I had been talking on the phone.
Where's my phone? I
To
can't
one
find
of
my phone.
a client. I was talking to a client. Not good news from the client either, but I'm talking to a client all the way to the store, in the store, and all the way home. And I walk in the house to get my phone at about the time he says, all right, I'll talk to you later. And I realize I probably even did this at the store. I probably had the phone in my left hand, and I reach in my right coat pocket, and my right pants pocket, and I couldn't find it. I probably passed the phone to my right hand and searched my left pocket, and I was just stunned. I mean, I didn't know what to think. And then, since I posted that this morning, I've had quite a few people tell me, hey, I've done the exact same thing. Don't let it bother you. I can't help but let it, between the and not thinking of simple words and crap like that, I'm terrified.
Okay, well, I'll send you the link to those supplements you can take that'll enhance your brain power a little bit.
Yeah, what is that? Neurogoo? What was that stuff you...
I think that's the name of it, Neurogoo, yeah.
What do they do? Grind up monkey brains or something, dry them out, put it in powder and send it to you?
I have no idea. Let me see if I can pull that up here.
Who knows what's in it? But it was embarrassing. Anyway, enough about my problems. There are bigger fish to fry today, and a lot of them are on the political front. So let's get that out of the way first. Where do I start on the political front, Alpha? What's your favorite right now?
So many places to go. I definitely, though, we can talk about this, but I definitely want to get to the fact that we have reached critical mass for stupidity, and there are 2 examples of that.
All right, let's hear it.
Oh, you want to hear them now?
Let's hear it.
Number 1 is, of course, we've been reading about people who obviously are lonely, and so they find friendship with chatbots.
Right.
They invent these relationships with people, with not even people.
Yeah, there are a lot of really well done AI commercials airing currently on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok they're beautiful women, and it says, I can be your perfect AI companion.
Right.
And I assume you pay a fee and she'll talk to you and, all the time.
Well, not just that. They will become your lifelong partner. There are people who are marrying their chatbots. Now there are people who are claiming their chatbots are pregnant and they are going to have a baby. So
So next, you'll have gay chatbots that get pregnant that are also nursing the babies too. That'll be next.
Well, we got something for that in just a second, but they are mental health experts who are saying, yeah, these people definitely have a mental issue.
You think so? You think they might be nuts?
They got some problems going on here.
And we're not very far removed from the time when you'll have a Tesla humanoid robot, a real robot with human textured hands and other features that'll be your AI companion in real life.
And I wonder why they're creating those human textured hands.
I don't know. So they can dust better?
Of course.
Help you brush your teeth? I don't know.
Wash dishes, wash delicate crystal, that sort of stuff. But
Yeah.
the real capper is the butt baby.
What's
Saw
that?
an ad for the butt baby. This
What
is
is that?
designed for trans women. It is a prosthetic baby that, according to the ad, you place in the warm comfort of your rectum so you can experience the sensation of giving birth.
Well, I do that every morning.
You drop the kids off at the pool, right?
That's, I'm telling you, we're living in the end times.
Obviously.
I mean, it's just no doubt about it. I mean, it's all around us, the demonic activity, the mental illness, the total lack of regard for normalcy or natural human function. It's all out the window. And
what this
it's by
is,
design.
What this is an admission that trans women aren't women. They cannot deliver a child as a normal female
Of course
human
they
being
can't.
would.
And they can't breastfeed, and they're not women.
So in order to compensate,
they're mentally ill men.
Right.
That's what they are.
And so in order to compensate for the fact that they cannot deliver a baby, they got to shove a hunk of rubber up their ass and squeeze it out and pretend that they just gave birth.
God bless us, everyone.
God save us. God protect.
Let's get the serious stuff out of the way. So yesterday we covered the Jasmine Crockett story where in Congress she's questioning this EPA official, and she thinks she's got him nailed. She thinks she's led him right up to the cliff, and she's going to push him over and dash his political career on the rocks below. She thought that he had taken money from sexual predator Jeffrey Epstein. It turned out it was Jeffrey Epstein, a lawyer. And instead of doing the smart thing that people would respect a little bit and get a little of your dignity back, where you come in and go, hey, I made a mistake. I admit it. I saw Jeffrey Epstein. We've been talking about him. I jumped to a conclusion.
I apologize.
I thought it was that guy, and I was wrong. If you said that, I could respect you a little bit. But politicians this day and age, they can't do it. So here's what she said.
You talked about Republicans taking money from a Jeffrey Epstein. Here's what you said.
Who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly. Mitt Romney, the NRCC, Lee Zeldin, George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio.
You mentioned Lee Zeldin there. He's now a cabinet secretary. He responded and said it was actually Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, who's a doctor that doesn't have any relation to the convicted sex trafficker. Unfortunate for that doctor, but that is who donated to a prior campaign of his. Do you want to correct the record on the people that...
Listen, I never said that it was that Jeffrey Epstein, just so that people understand when you
go.
make a donation, your picture is not there. And because they decided to spring this on us in real time, I wanted the Republicans to think about what could potentially happen, because I knew that they didn't even try to go through the FEC. So my team, what they did is they Googled. And
her team, first of all, she's trying to blame it on her team.
Yeah.
And number one. And number two, there was nothing sprung. You thought it was an I got you moment, and you made a mistake, and you're not big enough woman to admit your mistake. That's all that is.
Yeah,
Same
so
way.
All they have to do is throw out an accusation.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's got to be true. And if it's not true, okay, well, fine. No big
And
deal.
normally they would get away with that. Now we've got the media, I would say now, where the media used to be 100% in bed with the Democrats, now it's about 80-20. So normally it would just disappear. It wouldn't be brought up. You would never hear the fact that she was wrong. The stain would have been out there, and there would have been no story about it being wrong. But now about 20% of the time, the media actually calls them out on it.
Well, that was actually what, MSNBC or CNN, one of those.
That was CNN.
Yeah. Okay.
So the other story, very similar in a lot of ways, is this Delegate Plaskett, who is from the U.S. Virgin Islands, who was sitting in a committee hearing getting text from the pedophile, not the Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, telling her what questions to ask the witness that was in front of her. And she was doing that, and the pedophile, Jeffrey Epstein, even texted her back and said, "Good job. You've really got him on the ropes." And so, she's being faced with that fact today. And again, instead of just saying, "I made a mistake talking to him," here's what she says.
Wait, let me just better understand that. What is that point? Because at the time he was a known sex offender, and it had been detailed all the sexual abuse.
There are a lot of people who have done a lot of crimes, and as a prosecutor, you get information from people where you can.
I love that line. There are a lot of people who've done a lot of crimes. And by the way, you're not a prosecutor. You're not even a congresswoman. You're a delegate from the U.S. Virgin Islands, where about 25 people live.
But guess what? She's not even from the Virgin Islands. She's from Brooklyn. Her parents were from the Virgin Islands, and she was born and raised in Brooklyn.
But don't you have to live there?
That is, I don't know about representatives or delegates from territories. Yes.
I smell another mortgage fraud case coming up.
Like Eric Swalwell, now they've discovered that he has no permanent residence in California. He lists his Washington, D.C. residence as his permanent residence on some mortgage loans and whatnot. So, yeah, I mean, dig into that stuff. It's there.
So many of them have committed mortgage fraud. Not only that, but they've committed it as a federal crime because they wired information across state lines. So it should actually be a federal felony is what it should be. But we'll see. I mean, nothing bad's happened with Letitia James yet.
No.
But there's multiple cases of this, and probably on both sides of the aisle, if I had to guess. So President Trump, by the way, signed the Jeffrey Epstein papers, the bill, and I read a story about it today, and apparently they're going to produce a website or an app, and you can go there and you can download and search any of the Jeffrey Epstein material that there is. Now, there's one member of Congress that, what's his name, Tim Burchett?
Tim Burchett, yeah.
From Tennessee.
All right.
And boy, is he pissed off. It's funny. He's got this. I really like him. I've seen some videos of him at home on his farm, but he's got this old I think it's a Carhartt jacket that he wears on the farm. He wore it to the Hill yesterday. He goes, "I'm like Fonzie. He always had his jacket on when he's going to rumble.
Yeah.
I got my jacket on so I can rumble." But he says that Washington is worse than a swamp.
Yeah.
It's a sewer is what he says. And I agree with him. One of the things he's upset with was that ethics deal with, you knew more about that than I did. What was the ethics
Corey
deal?
Mills?
Corey. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was really upset about that.
Death of a salesman was like the last time.
Sorry, it's been a long 3 days. About a sushi in Japan.
All right, one other big political story happening today. We touched on it yesterday, and I didn't know a lot about it. But I read last night, and I read even more this morning, about the FBI stonewalling the U.S. House of Representatives and the American people, for that matter, and the president, for that matter, about the young man who tried to kill President Trump in Pennsylvania during the campaign. The FBI stonewalled the investigation of Thomas Crooks and the attempted assassination. The New York Post reported on violent past social media posts that were they're not going to give Tucker Carlson any credit for this. I think Tucker is the person that developed a lot of this information and first presented it on his podcast, and now they're going to give the credit to the New York Post. But apparently, you remember they told us the guy had almost no social media footprint at all.
Yeah.
Hardly existed.
Yeah.
And turns out he had a gigantic social footprint, and he has something in common with a lot of these mass shooters. A furry. They like to dress up like animals and kill people, or they like to have sex with people that dress up like animals and then kill people, or
trans ideation and the furry
or
thing,
if they're trans, exactly. And Mike Kelly and Pat Fallon, representatives from Texas, claim the files were never shared during the congressional investigation of the assassin by the FBI. They say there are so many unanswered questions, we're going to keep digging into it. What I don't understand is why, now that Kash Patel, President Trump's person's there, why aren't we hearing something about it now?
Yeah.
They go on to talk about the fact that it's going to be very difficult at this point because the body was cremated so quickly. And there's no blood samples because they washed them off the roof and bleached it like the next day. Like it was the fastest crime scene cleanup in the history of the world.
Right. And I think you have legitimate questions. I mean, the initial investigation was done by Chief Wray, who was head of the FBI then, and the other administrations, FBI and Department of Justice. But now that you got Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, who in his previous life was a broadcaster, a podcaster, and
a Secret Service agent,
he was all over that investigation and asking questions of why this isn't coming out. And now
there's something about it. I don't know. But I mean, I know nothing about investigating crime, but I've watched a lot of 48 Hours. I've watched a lot of Lifetime murder movies.
Yeah,
and
CSI.
I know
Yeah.
if there's somebody on the roof washing away the blood of the assassin and then bleaching on top of it,
Something's wrong.
not a good sign.
Something's wrong.
Something is being covered up. You don't walk in the crime scene and you don't hose down the crime scene that quickly.
That's why they tape things. That's why they tape things off to keep people from coming in and contaminating the crime scene. That's what that's all about.
And look, the other thing was, none of us are Secret Service agents or security experts, but we all knew somebody should have been checking that roof before the president came out to give that speech, particularly when you had agents in the building right under him.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Yeah. And
this is starting to look more and more like a JFK-style assassination deal to me.
Something. I mean, he had accounts in different countries. He had different IDs. He was communicating, they said, with some federal agents. So there's something much deeper, and they're not releasing it. It's a history of obfuscation and refusal to provide information of the FBI, and it continues under this administration. I don't know why.
I don't either.
Yeah?
Another mystery that we all have to live with.
Along with the Seth Rich one. You're familiar with that one, of course.
Seth Rich.
Seth Rich was the...
I can't even remember if I have my phone in my hand. You have to remind me who these people are.
Seth Rich was a staffer on the DNC who was murdered in the streets of Washington, D.C.
Oh, yeah.
Right before...
he was going to give some testimony or something.
Well, Hillary's emails were supposed to be presented. There was, in fact, Julian Assange.
You can stop right there. If somebody died and it had anything to do with Hillary Clinton, I'm with you. Just add it to the number 59.
Julian Assange
59
sort of hinted
people
that he may be the one who leaked the information about the DNC emails.
And listen, how that guy's still alive is a miracle. I don't understand it.
Well, he was protected overseas for a long time, and now
He was in
I'm not
Russia
sure
for a long time, right?
where he is or what's going on.
I don't like to have to report stories like this, but we've talked about this guy so much. I mean, get away from the political side of this and the cover-up and what politicians may have been involved. We all know there's a bunch of them on that Epstein list, and we're gonna see. It's funny now what President Trump said this yesterday. They're all trying to hedge their bets. And Trump put something on Truth Social to the effect that there's going to be a lot more Democrat names on that list than Republicans. It doesn't matter. Anybody's name that's on there. And did you see why in the world? To me, this just is so dumb. Why did Larry Summers get up in front of his class at Harvard and say how embarrassed and ashamed he was for his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and that he was retiring? I would have just sent in my resignation and went on home. And then the other thing is, Larry Summers has come out in public and said he's embarrassed and ashamed of his relationship with Epstein. There's all these texts and emails that we've read about him asking Epstein for dating advice and all this other stuff. And then this morning, Harvard announced they're going to start an investigation into Larry Summers.
Yeah.
It's kind of late for...
Yeah, a little late for that.
The investigation's over.
Yeah, he's already said.
The person you're investigating has already confessed to everything you might find out. So
Yep.
Is that Harvard? Is that really how smart they are?
It is. Yes,
I mean,
it is.
Isn't that kind of a waste of time and money to have an investigation at this point?
Yeah.
But anyway, there's some stuff about Jeffrey Epstein coming out, and some of you may find this offensive. Let me warn you right now. But we're truth tellers here on the Jack Murphy Podcast. We like to give you all the information because this guy was a freak and an anomaly. I mean, he was a hedge fund billionaire, extorted money from some of the richest people in the world, had a island where they were having orgies and group sex, and he had 3 airplanes, a big, huge Boeing airplane, a private jet, and a twin-engine plane. He mingled with the most powerful people in the world. But there's a woman named Rena O, who has long claimed she was among the scores of young women who were abused by Epstein. She did a interview with Tina Brown, the magazine maven, on Substack, and she talked at length about the fact that he had an extremely deformed penis.
Okay.
She said, if this is true, this is extremely deformed. She said it looked like a lemon.
Okay.
It was shaped like a lemon. Now, other people who were with him said it was more like an egg.
Okay.
Now, I suppose, and by the way, part of this was revealed during a 2009 deposition during a lawsuit that was brought by a number of these underage girls that were suing him, and the suit was settled. But his lawyer jumped in and warned that the deposition would be cut short if the embarrassing questioning continued. But I think, if we were to ask a psychiatrist if having a deformed egg-shaped penis might cause you to be a sexual deviant.
Okay.
I don't know, but I just thought that was interesting because she went on. I mean, there's several pages of her describing it. The lemon. The
Oh,
egg.
lemon wiener then, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
lemon wiener. That's a great name for it. It's better than egg wiener.
I became a new creature at that moment.
All right, I've got some fantastic videos for you today, Alpha. I mean, I've got some real doozies. First of all, do you remember Stop the Insanity?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What was her name?
Susan Powter.
Susan Powter, right.
And this is her on the left back when she was doing
guru.
Stop the Insanity. She
Right.
was selling a VHS workout series. This is her on the right now.
Well, it's been a few years.
This Susan Powter, at one point, she was worth $300 million.
Whoa. Wow.
$300 million. Now, she just did this interview with EW where she says that she's now a total lesbian. That's not news to anybody.
Okay.
I think we all figured that out back in the 90s. But anyway, she was worth $300 million. Today, she's an Uber Eats driver.
Oh, wow.
Uber Eats driver. She went from this
At 260 pounds, here's what I was told to do to get fit. By the way, how do you like it?
She's making fun of what's that little blonde that did all those fitness videos that had her hair was always perfect. I can't think of her name, but she's
Tracy
making
Austin.
fun of her.
Hair.
So stupid.
But anyway, she sold $300 million worth, and she said that she didn't pay attention to her money, and the age-old story.
Yeah.
And so she's driving for Uber Eats.
I could see $1 million, $2 million, a few million slipping away, but at some point you got to go, so wait a minute, I got to get a hold of this.
She's 67 years old, lives in a small apartment in Vegas, and works as a food delivery driver. She said, I'm very isolated. She was married to a man, had 3 adult sons before she figured out she was a lesbian. But pissed away $300 million. That's got.
But now she's a total lesbian, not just
total. Yeah,
partial.
She's total lesbian. And she said she wasted time ever being with men, dating men, totally into women, but she's isolated.
Now it's
she doesn't have $300 million anymore. It's really sad. All right. This woman was apparently just sentenced to prison. And I don't know how I missed this story. This happened a couple of years ago, and I'd never seen this video. And I play this video so that I can warn men out there how crazy women can be. I just saw a clip the other day, a YouTube short, where a guy was in the passenger seat of the car. His girlfriend is driving. And he somehow talks her into getting out and pumping the gas in the car. When she gets out, he locks the door and starts going through her phone.
Uh-oh.
And apparently she did not want that to happen, and she starts slamming the gas pump against the window of the car and broke the window to get the door open. I mean, that's really not wanting somebody to see. This woman parks her car, a minivan. She lets her boyfriend out to go into Kroger, Walmart, or whatever. And she sees pictures of him, I think, with her sister. Those kind of pictures.
Yeah.
And she loses it. Now, first of all, guys, let me give you a tip. Don't ever leave those kind of pictures on your phone.
Yeah.
If you got a girlfriend, I don't care if you've got a lock code, because they'll just say, give me your code. And if you say no, you're assumed guilty.
Yeah.
All right, so watch what happens when the guy gets out of the car and she sees the photos. It's crazy. All right, this is him. Bam!
Oh,
she
man.
got him.
Oh.
Then this poor guy was just walking in the store. She runs over him. Then she gets out. Watch her. She's going to run over there and beat the shit out of him. She is pummeling. His leg
the
is...
video has no sound, as you guys can see. But as you can also see, she ran that man over that was going inside with the store. He was 58-year-old. I can't.
She got him by the hair, and she's just pummeling him in the face. His legs are crushed.
I can't remember his name, but the story will tell. He was.
Meanwhile, the other guy, the 57-year-old cripple guy that's walking in, he's dead.
He was already on a cane.
Cincinnati woman is held tonight on a $500,000 bond after allegedly running down two men in a Kroger parking lot, killing one of them. Our David Winter has more details on what happened Wednesday night and more on that innocent bystander who was unfortunately killed. David.
Yeah, Kylie, this is a story full of heartbreak and irony all the way around. The man killed was not even the alleged target, and he ran a nonprofit aimed at driver safety.
Oh.
A completely innocent victim that was struck by the defendant while that victim was exiting Kroger's died from his injuries. That gentleman is depicted right here on his motorcycle.
The assistant prosecutor at the bond hearing for 24-year-old Tavia Chapman. The picture the prosecutor was holding is this man, Scotty Griffith.
My heart is just shattered, completely shattered.
Molly B. True dated Scotty for 5 years, and even though they broke up in 2019, they were...
My favorite part of this, I mean, there's no happy part of this video or anything like that, but the defense attorney for the woman, he actually got up and said with a straight face, she never meant to hurt anybody. She maybe hit the gas instead of the brake.
Yeah.
And, I'm thinking, what about the part where she jumped out and she's holding him by the head, pummeling him in the face over and over and over while he's laying there in agony after she runs over it?
Wow.
I mean,
so you're right. Never put any of those photos on your phone. Never take any of those kind of photos.
Don't even. That's what your imagination and your memory's for. See, I'm screwed either way. I would never do that on my phone, and I can't remember any
You've
of
forgotten all about
my
it.
imagination and my memory. No good. So I just have to live in the now.
There you go.
I just have to live in the now. But what I'm saying is, this is what I mean by evil. Yeah, this kind of stuff didn't used to happen. We see it all the time on social media where people crash into people with cars like they're bowling pins, and they don't care. And they'll do it over nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's amazing.
I'm sure those things may have happened, but we didn't have the instant ability to record it and post
but
it
I don't
for the
think
world
they
to
happened.
see.
I don't think they happened as much.
Yeah, well, probably
I mean,
not.
There were some crazy people, but it is an everyday occurrence in big cities now. I mean, when you see these people, they look like normal suburban mom housewives with kids that the cops try to pull over because they were speeding, and suddenly they're in a high-speed chase with their kids in the car, and they wreck, and then they try to ram the cops, and, they turn nothing into 10 years in prison and losing their kids.
Yeah.
Because they're crazy.
Cuckoo.
Welcome back to Fox 2 News at 9 a.m. Time once again to get you caught up on your news headlines. For that, the Hamburglar.
It's your birthday. I'll let it pass. Thank you. No, I won't. I'll get you later. Moving on to news now.
It's always unfortunate when we hear, Alpha, about something like a life flight helicopter that's picked up an accident victim somewhere and they're transporting them to a trauma center and the helicopter crashes. And, those helicopters have a backup engine. Did you know that?
I did not.
Those life flight helicopters, yeah, they have 2 engines just for that reason. So it's usually the life flight helicopter hits something or they're in bad weather. It's rarely a mechanical failure unless it's the tail rotor. But it's equally bad when the person's already dead and something happens to the vehicle that's carrying. Just watch this horrible series of events that happen. I mean, I saw it and I went, oh my God, this is terrible. And then just watch it. So it's an icy road. The hearse swings around, taps the van, the back comes open, the coffin comes out, and then a car hits the coffin.
Yep.
Awful.
Hard to rest in peace that way.
Just awful, yeah. I mean, wouldn't you hate to be the cop? You got to come out and investigate that one.
Yeah.
Anybody in the box? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get them off the road. Let's get him off the road. Can we?
Yeah,
let's start with that.
Let's assume he was already dead.
All right, a couple of old people stories for you today.
Oh, good.
Before I get to the first old people story, have you got some more info on the Virginia Tech coach? Yesterday, I asked you to put a number on what they were paying the new, what's his name again? The new
James Franklin.
James Franklin, formerly of Penn State. Now, what's the deal?
I have not pinned down an exact figure on that.
Okay, because yesterday you said you heard $250 million.
That was the number I heard batted around before. I do know that Virginia Tech officials said they had secured the money to acquire the coach they wanted. So
okay, I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to say James Franklin is actually probably got a longer term contract in the area of $8 million
per year.
Yeah,
nah, it'll be more than that. He'll have assistants making $8 million.
All right. I find that very hard to believe, but we'll see. I know you're going to get the numbers for me, so I can tell. But anyway, the other coaching story, an old people story, Bill Belichick.
Oh, boy.
Attended his girlfriend's cheerleading competition yesterday. I just leave it right there. Bill Belichick went to his girlfriend's cheerleading competition yesterday. By the way, he's kind of turned Carolina around. Have you noticed?
Well, a little bit. I mean,
they've been winning some games, and they've got a chance to get to a bowl game this year if they finish strong.
Have they got 6 wins already, or what are they? I think they're 5 wins now, right?
I just heard that on ESPN
2 more
or something
weekends.
A couple of days. They've got some games to go, but the rest of the schedule is apparently very favorable. Well, and there are no out-of-town cheerleader competitions that Bill has to go to.
It's a good thing,
practices.
Because he would have to be absent.
All right, the other old people story is I love William Shatner. I always have. Mm-hmm. And they don't call him the Shat for nothing. William Shatner said he once pooped his pants during a one-man Broadway show. And it wasn't that long ago. He said he was having some stomach issues when he hit the stage for his one-man show called Shatner's World. We just live in it. He said, all of a sudden I have to go. And he said, in fact, I already had.
He put the Shat in Shatner.
I thought, been there, done that, Bill. I'm with you.
Have you?
No shame in your game.
Public place?
On stage, on Broadway.
No. I'm talking
during the show.
You said you've been there, done that. Have you? I mean, you haven't been on Broadway.
No, never. Well, it always happened to me when I was out jogging or I was way, way out in the woods somewhere and there's no bathroom anywhere close.
Well, that's
it happened
different.
To me a couple.
out in the woods,
Happened to me
can,
a couple of times.
Yeah, you can scoot across the leaves, or grab some pine tags, or a
no,
stick,
I couldn't.
No.
Once it was in the middle of summer, and I was in a really expensive country club neighborhood, and I knew everybody in there, and I just had to kind of run through people's backyards to try to get to my house, and I just took a water hose to myself. It was horrible.
What's that man doing in the yard?
Is the American Farm Bureau? That's not a government agency, is it?
No, they're an insurance company and a farm organization. Yeah.
Okay, well, they should be a government agency because they lie just like a government agency does.
Mm-hmm.
The American Farm Bureau says that Thanksgiving this year will cost $5.52 per person.
Okay, and you have personal evidence that is not true, based on based on
what I've bought so far.
Right.
I'm probably more at $15 to $20 per person.
Okay. Well,
the cheapest turkey. Well, the cheapest turkey I've seen so far is $1.99 a pound. Now, I've heard about that there was a shooting at Food Lion where you could get, if you spent a certain amount, you could get, and I'm sure there are cheaper ones, but I paid $1.99.
A shooting at Food Lion?
I played a video a couple of days ago. There was a shooting at Food Lion right up the road here in Salisbury. They had a deal where if you spent $45, you could get a turkey for 49 cents or something.
Right.
And there was one turkey left, and two guys started arguing about it, and there was somebody swung, and the guy pulled out a gun.
Uh-huh.
And the other guy said, "Oh, you want to do that? You want to play with?" And he ran out to his car and got his gun and shot the guy in the arm over a 49 cent a pound turkey.
Right. Yeah.
Now, I did point out that Amazon deal where you could get supposedly a Thanksgiving dinner for four for, what was it, $29.99, something like that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it didn't sound like much to me. They also claim that the cost of Thanksgiving dinner has dropped for the third straight year. I don't believe that either. Do you?
So, based on your experience from the last 2 years, you're not paying less?
I don't see anything at the grocery store that's cheaper. Do you?
Well, I don't do
you do a lot of grocery shopping?
I don't
I do
a lot of grocery shopping.
I do. And let me tell you something. Things that used to be considered, not high-end products that were cheap. Let's take your chicken wing, for example. Chicken wings it used to be you could go into a bar and get chicken wings for 25 cents each.
Yep.
Chicken wings are almost as expensive as chicken breasts now. I guess because there's so much demand.
Yeah.
I don't care what cut of the cow it is. Forget ribeyes or T-bones or anything like that. They're $21.99 or $22.99. Just ground beef, stew meat. It's outrageous. Things like eggs and other things, bacon's come down a little bit, but all in all, dairy products are still really expensive. The only place to get a deal is in the stuff that I don't like to eat, processed foods. So hopefully they're going to get a handle on this food inflation because it's killing America. It's killing us.
If you're thinking $10-15 a person, you're feeding quite a house full of people.
Well, let me tell you what we did. My daughter did this. She did a she kind of made a menu of the normal stuff, turkey, stuffing,
cranberry,
homemade rolls, green beans, sweet potato, pie. She did this whole list, and then she assigned certain people certain things. Like I got turkey and stuffing.
Okay, fair enough.
She got some, and then she puts the list out and sends it to everybody that's coming, and you put your name by something, and that's what you're bringing.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, I'm at $15-20 a person right now,
just with
on
the
stuff
turkey
I've
and
bought
dressing.
already. Yeah, and then they're going to be bringing wine. I mean, there'll be some whining and dining going on Thanksgiving.
What's the address there? So, in case I want to drop in Charlotte.
It's in Melvin, South Carolina, 202 Smith Street, Melvin, South Carolina. Going over there on Thanksgiving Day.
Got it.
And have yourself a great, great time. Well, speaking of time, we're about out of it today, Alpha.
Yeah.
Now, tomorrow's Friday, and Alpha is always out. He has his acting class on Friday where he takes young, budding actors and molds them into Al Pacino-like talents.
Some not so young, but yes, we do do have a good time.
Where do you do your class?
At Atlanta Hollywood Acting Studio. It's over in Woodstock.
Oh, okay.
I have a Tuesday night class and a Friday morning class. And
now, is this like for those of us who have seen the Netflix series, The Kaminsky Method? Is it like that? The Michael Douglas show?
I don't subscribe to. Well, there's all sorts of methods and techniques and all sorts of things, and they all point to the same thing. You got to know.
Or the Henry Winkler show with Barry.
Oh, that's a great show. Love that show.
I love that
Barry.
show.
It's the same thing. You got to know who you are, who's in the scene with you, where you are, what you want, and what you're willing to do to get there. And that's.
I got you.
And as Orson Welles says, you just go in and act. And as Michael Caine says, you show up, you hit your mark, and you deliver your lines honestly.
My favorite actor of all time.
Michael Caine?
Michael Caine.
Yeah. His philosophy about accepting a role, he said he would look at the script. If his character appeared in the first page, he would go immediately to the last page. And if the character was there, he'd take the role.
I love it. He's just, he's so honest, open, so good. I really liked him. I love to hear him talk about women and his mother and how much money he made and all that. He's just a very, very cool guy. Anyway, we're out of time.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for watching the podcast today. If you get a chance, like it. It really helps us out with the algorithm. I don't even know what an algorithm is, but I'm told it really helps out. And if you really want to help us out, subscribe to the channel. Just open a YouTube account. It's free. And I'll be back tomorrow. Now, I'm probably going to be back with my cousin Daniel Wheeler, the world's biggest Georgia fan, and his best friend Roger, who's probably the second biggest Georgia fan.
Okay.
And we're going to talk some college football. I'm going to see how much they think the Virginia Tech coach got tomorrow.
Good. I'll be anxious to hear.
Thanks for watching the Jack Murphy Podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Go ahead, ring it. Get alerts when a new episode drops. And tell your friends about the Jack Murphy Podcast. But only the cool friends, please. Tune in next time for another episode of the Jack Murphy Podcast.